Hello, I'm Mike Gordon, and welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Mega Man Legacy Collection in the year 20XX18. The first annual robot tournament was held. First annual robot tournament was held with 8 of the world's most powerful robots, but Mr. X, sponsor of the tournament, took control of the robots and began to take over the world of Mega Man. Mr. X, why? So I tell you the truth, I've been manipulating that fool Dr. Wily from the beginning. But now I no longer need Dr. Wily's help. Come if you dare. We'll stop you. Follow me, Rush. Gee, I wonder if this Mr. X who's been controlling Dr. Wily this whole time is actually Dr. Wily. He looks remarkably similar to Dr. Wily. I can't tell. They look a little different. That means they're different people. Alright, so perfect playthrough conditions for this game. Let's go over the order in which we will be fighting these guys. Flame Man will be first, then Blizzard Man. After Blizzard Man will be Plant Man, Tomahawk Man, Yamato Man, Fight Man, Centaur Man, and finally Wind Man. Perfect playthrough conditions for this game are going to be similar to Mega Man 5, where you have to collect all the letters in order to unlock Beat. The difference, though, first of all, there's fewer letters to collect. Come on. Alright, this is getting ridiculous. I'll forgo that. There is a second difference that will come up that explains how exactly we get these 4 letters. Basically, instead of having to spell out the words Mega Man 5, we just have to spell Beat's name this time around. But the second difference is how we get these letters, which I will show off in a bit. Now what's interesting is that a lot of people do consider Mega Man 6 as a bit of a return to form for the Blue Bomber, following Mega Man's 4 and 5. It still basically amounts to it being the 4th best Mega Man game, though. The difference, though, is I actually consider it better than Mega Man 1 and 5. Other people say that's better than Mega Man's 4 and 5. So yeah, I still stand by my assessment that Mega Man 1 is the worst Mega Man game on the NES. And keep in mind, it's the shortest game by far in the collection. So Mega Man 5 kind of has a similar issue to Mega Man 5, where it seems like the enemies and obstacles are designed specifically to slow you down, rather than to provide an actual challenge. The question is, how do they differ this time around? Really? This is super specific. Oh shit. So I'm still not fully topped off. I don't really know what else to talk about here. I think at this point, though, Mega Man 6 was just... I think it's just sort of outstayed its welcome on NES. Because this would be the last Mega Man game released on the system. Believe it or not, it originally released in Japan in 1993. Which was so late into this development cycle for this game that Capcom didn't really want to release it in the States. So, Flameman's our first eye. In fact, they wouldn't even... This would be the only Mega Man game not published by Capcom, believe it or not. For that very reason, because it would release in the United States in 1994, the final year that the NES was officially on the market. Well, the last time the NES saw official releases. Anyways, there was a Bible game released in 1995. So Nintendo, who actually really enjoyed this game, decided to take matters into their own hands and publish the game themselves for overseas markets. Something I will also mention is that the plot of Mega Man 5 is also fairly indicative of Capcom's recognition of Mega Man's rising in global popularity, because this is the only Mega Man game in the original NES lineup that actually involved the entire fans from around the entire world in order to make their submissions. In order to make their submissions for the Robot Masters. So Mega Man's 3, 4, and 5, all the Robot Masters in those games came from kids in Japan. All the Robot Masters in Mega Man 6 came from the submissions came from all over the world, and we get the Fire Blast and Rush Power Adapter. So Rush is no longer our dog companion, he is instead like a modification on Mega Man himself. Which is interesting. So Blizzard Man is our next guy. He will be weak to fire, so that makes sense. He's at Frozen Island. So now, I think the biggest incentive is there is now a rationale behind using your power-ups now. Looks like I gotta use the rush adapter. Wait, what? So I'm gonna ignore that one up because I don't want to have to use the flamethrower to nab it. So yeah, we have to walk a few distance away. I took the top. By the way, this is the new thing that we need to work on, and that's alternate branching paths, and there's even secret Proto Man meeting spots. Oh, we need to uncover, so yeah, perfect playthrough conditions for Mega Man 2 actually involve two new features in order to spruce some things up. One are the meeting spots for Proto Man, and the other are the branching paths. Branching pathways that lead to the Robot Masters. So, slight snow ahead of time. What we are going to be doing. We need to find those branching paths because... So what are the branching paths? They're different pathways you can take to reach the Robot Masters. And it's by taking those alternate paths that will allow us to obtain our letters to spell out Beat's names. Only 4 of the Robot Master stages actually have them. Come on, I really hate this. Again, I did originally film these with editing in mind, but because these rewinds can be pretty chaotic and I've been doing this forever, this would take forever to film, I decided not to edit out all of these rewinds. I apologize in advance for this, but... So rather than an energy meter for Rush this time, you literally have a charge meter for him. Oh shit, there are spikes in the water, So yeah, this game is actually decent. It's kind of funny. Every Mega Man game, the main difference is that they have been chugging along trying to figure out, nail the difference between the really easy and the really hard. Oh shit. So yeah, I will say, level design, the overall level layout and art direction has been improving quite drastically. This makes sense because in North America, this came out in the last year that the NES was on the market as a viable console. It was the last year that Nintendo actually developed and published games on the NES, officially. Man, these attacks suck. Alright, so now we're taking on the boss. Unfortunately, we were never able to top off Fire Blast, the Flame Blast. Hopefully this won't be a problem. So basically now the boss has immunity cycles, so every time you hit them. So I do think that can be an issue depending on who you are. Or you would rather be able to cheese through the boss as quickly as possible. So that could be a problem depending on who you ask. But you have to deal with immunity cycles for the bosses every time you hit them, but you get the Blizzard attack. And you get a visual cue on how that works. And not much else. We have yet to worry about Proto Man or about the Proto Man bonuses or the alternate paths yet. But we will be getting there soon. Plan Man is our third robot master, so yeah, we don't really need the lives right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and nab this. Or the health. Guess you could still make that jump. And these guys, I really hate these guys. Yeah, we might as well just take the extra life because there's no way to backpedal for this. I'm gonna try the Flame Blast. Alright. They took quite a beating from the flame blast, so... Now we have to deal with this annoying shit. I should at the very least try to top off Flame Blast. Alright, let's go top off. That's our Flame Blast. I think we have to deal with another one of those giant apes. So yeah, we just have to deal with these. I'm just keeping my eyes open for branching paths would have to take place near the end of the level, so... And here's the reason why I think Mega Man 6 is an improvement over Mega Man 5. It's because the weapons this side around are actually kind of fun to use. It has a lot of the same problems that Mega Man 5 has. The levels overstay their welcomes, everything seems to slow you down. Difference though is that the game actually incentivizes you with some pretty decent weapon selection. I hate these fish. Large glowing dot things in those flowers, those are actually health recovery. Also, you just have to hold the jump button or do the super jumps. Unfortunately, I don't have any way to actually... You can't switch weapons while you're on those trampolines, because you can't access the main menu, so that sucks. So I'm gonna go with the Blizzard, this one. So the flower, so I guess it's the plant shield now. This is another power-up that was an a custom move in Slash 4, by the way, alongside the Skull Barrier. The Skull Barrier from Mega Man 4's Skull Barrier in Mega Man, or was that Mega Man 3? And Mega Man 6's Flower Barrier or Flower Shield or something. Were the alternate custom versions of Mega Man's Leaf Shield for Mega Man 2. That's how the custom moves worked in Smash 4. Anyways, we just attacked him. Super effective. Huge drain on your energy though, but otherwise pretty fun. Plant Bomb and Rush Jet Adapter? We don't know what the Rush Jet Adapter actually is, but it's cool. So now we get to take on Tomahawk Man. And this is how you know that this was done by, that these Robot Masters were all designed by children from around the world. Children who were lifelong fans of Mega Man. Alright, so this is what we need to do. We need to use the Flame Blast on this machine, machine right here. I guess we could just use the... Basically, I was just struggling to figure out where I'm supposed to shoot. I'm literally hitting the big glass casing and not doing any damage. What the hell? It turns out we have to hit the underside of this boss. Oh yeah, it's not a boss. Did I? And this is bullshit. And it's not just the machine, it's the thing that shits out these other helmet guys. I don't even remember their names. That's how you know I'm not a Mega Man fan. So yeah, I think this is kind of proof that Mega Man was basically just all out. I think this was pretty much the end of the road for Mega Man on NES because... Okay, so this level is actually going to be the first level that includes optional meetups with Proto Man, and will also feature branching paths. A Jet Mega Man. I will say this is a huge improvement. Not only do you no longer have to worry about energy resource management with Megaman, but now you no longer have to deal with stuff where Rush just phases through the floor or something because there wasn't enough room. So this is definitely a huge quality of life upgrade over Mega Man 5. So yes, this is our first alternate path. Yeah, because this is where we would have came out from if we went the way we were supposed to go, so... Because we took this alternate path, let's get through these giant things. Yeah, I'm just gonna hug these guys and rapid fire them. This would be the much easier way of dealing with this machine now that I know how to deal with it. So yes, we have branching paths that we need to watch out for. If we took the lower path, we would be made to go the other way. I have to be careful at this spot because this is where we meet Proto Man. You can only use this power-up, but you have to be super close to hit that brick. But not so close that you go over and hit the spikes. This is basically Proto Man's only appearance in the entire game, and he gives you this upgrade. But we won't be worried about that right now. Instead, we want to go back down because if we continue forward, we would reach the Robot Master, but it would not be the alternate path. Generally speaking, the alternate path is much harder than the path that you are encouraged to use. How am I gonna do this? This is just to take the hit. So instead of continuing up, we go this way, and this is where we reach the alternate gate point to the Robot Master. Had we continue up, we would encounter a different door to the Robot Master instead. So now we use the plant barrier. And it's basically, and we're gonna basically use it the same way we used the Leaf and Skull and Star shields in previous games. Let's conjure it up and then ram into him. It's also way easier to do this time. Problem is, it takes all of our energy to take out Tomahawk Man doing this. If you land all your hits, that should not be a problem. You get Silver Tomahawk and beat 8 in the Beat B parts. Basically, we got the letter B to spell out Beat's name because we took this alternate route. After we got the little upgrade from Proto Man anyways. So next Robot Master is Yamato Man. And yeah, based on the name, you can definitely tell this was made by somebody who's either Japanese or is a huge fan of Japan. So we go down here. Sorry, I was just pausing for a bit because I'm looking at my notes. Keep in mind that in Mega Man 5 and 6, the notes are so much more elaborate than they were before. I want to be able to make use of the jet, but no, I don't need to. So this is technically an alternate route that I'm taking through this level. And of course, the Flame Blast is really good. And yep, it's a whole lot of nothing. Oh, look, you might need this power-up in order to reach this place. So we got the energy tank. So yeah, so this branching path, some of the branching paths are just alternate routes through a level, and the route I chose was technically the shortest one. Or really the hardest one. But now I'm going to take the upper route because that is the hardest route. So I'm going to need to use the Mega Jet for this. So I'm only given a very brief window to fire the Flame Blast. So this is yet another upgrade, I think, of the OG Mega Man. They give you all these different the branching paths does give Mega Man 6 some replay value. I'll admit that. This is much better than trying to aim for the letters manually. So now I'm using Tomahawk, the Tomahawk Man's powers on Yamato Man. Oh. So what's interesting about Yamato Man's effect is that not only is it good, does it have good economy, but goes underneath Yamato Man's spinning blade attack. So you are able to deal damage to him if you hit him from the right angle, even during his invincibility frames. Anyways, we got the Yamato Spear and Beat E parts, or the letter E to spell beat. Yeah, the order in which I go about doing these Robot Masters gives us the best chance at getting all the power, getting all the letters, and the upgrades. Master of Mace Ball, Nightman. Something I will also acknowledge very briefly is that this is definitely a return to form music-wise for Mega Man. So yeah, I can definitely see a lot of people ranking it so highly, just not as good as the first 3 games. I would say this game is better than Mega Man's 1 and 5. I think I still prefer Mega Man 4. It's a little on the easy side. Holes don't have to say they're welcome. It's simple. Yada yada. I was stupid that all my hits didn't fail to land. Alright, so yeah, all we have are those little spinning wheels and the spikes. I'm just gonna circumvent all that and just go up. Really, I actually have to hit the pot first. Alright, let's do this. I'm not satisfied with this power up, so I'm just gonna go up and down for a bit until I get what I want. No, I don't need to be topped off. And this is a really, really cool background, I'll admit that. So you kind of have to kill these guys twice. Alright, looks like we need to use Jetman to reach that. Barely. So I need to use Jetman again. In fact, worth knowing is that the North American cover for this game actually features Mega Man for Mega Man 6. Actually features Mega Man in the Jetman form in order to showcase just how much of an evolution this is. So this time we want to take the lower path, and that requires using, the entrance to the Raw Aster is right there, and now we take the lower path down below. So I'm trying to figure out, I think I need to do Silver Tomahawk. No, it's the Yamato Street. I was just trying to figure out which one it is. Again, there's so much notes at this point because there's so much more to do that I need to worry about than just how to beat the boss. So Nightman literally has this disc that he throws in your general direction. That's going to be the main crux of his power. He's actually really, really easy. So really, the only reason why I was doing him first, didn't do him first, is literally because I would not be able to get to this version of the fight, and I would not be able to get a beat letter off of him if I were to do him first. You get Knight's C and Beat A parts. We got the letter A. I think it's supposed to be like Nightcap or something. I don't know. Same move he was using in his fight against us. So now we get to take on Centaur Man. The Ancient City. Which is like a Greek themed level, so that's kind of neat. You know what sucks about these Mega Man games? Even though I don't want all the horrible things that come with it, everybody hates that we live in the world we live in now, as opposed to a world that's much like Mega Man. And trying to hit these without hitting the spikes is tricky. I will also say that Mega Man 6 is a bit of a return of form in terms of difficulty, it's just not as hard as Mega Man 3. So which way should we go? Yeah, there's nothing up there, so that's not like a branching path or anything. And here's something kind of nifty. There's water up above, but nothing but air down below, so it's kind of inversed. This also means is we need to actually make use of these mechanics in order to safely navigate this section. Now my health doesn't need to be topped off, and what do we have here? I'll take the extra life. Yeah, this is stupid. At least once they drop in the water, they can't really follow us anymore. Well, they can only do so much now that they're no longer in the air. Alright, let's go. Don't need to be topped off at all. So, this time the alternate path we want to take is the one that's literally right in front of us because it is not, because we go up down there. Yeah, it's just a simple, we could just walk up to it, but because you need Jetman in order to reach this platform, this is the alternate route that we want. So we want to use the nightcap. No. Well, really, it should probably be more like Night Shield or something like that. I don't know. So Centaur Man turns himself invisible and will randomly appear. Shit. You want to be able to time your hits so you don't end up having to worry about getting frozen in time. So yeah, the Robot Masters are unique, fun designs. A couple of them are kind of tricky, but by and large, they're not. Once you know the order, they're not too difficult. You get the Centaur Flash and the letter T. That means we have all the letters of the alphabet. All 4 letters to spell out Beat's name. We just have Windman now. We could have done him first if we wanted to, without penalty, but Master Windman, he's probably, so there's probably, because this level, it would be really hard to do if you did it first. That's probably the only reason why I did it saved it for last. It's kind of funny, we got everything we needed in the exact order, but now there's a level that doesn't have a branching path or a meet-up with Proto Man. So how do we get up there? How do we go? Yeah, this is ridiculous. Or we managed to get past that gun. Alright, now we get to this side. In this thing, you need to be able to jump. Yeah, unfortunately I have to turn off the jet man. Even more unfortunate, I go to normal Mega Man now. So yeah, there's a lot of tricky jumps in this level that would make... How do we do this? Obviously, when I use the flame blast. The reason why, because you can fire it at a downward arc. Turns out this guy was the key to taking these guys out anyways. I just decided I wanted to do 2 in 1. A little bit of replenishment. So I'm gonna have to be relying a bit more on the flame blasts. Alright. Took out these pandas. Unlock beat. Oh shit. Oh! Oh, so that's what the Pro Man upgrade does. What it does... So this is a demonstration of what the upgrade was. So that item we got from Pro Man a few levels back, what that does... It allows any energy replenishments that you get to top off any item in your possession, even if you're not equipped to it. And it's based on how much energy you've got left. So I have to use Centaur's freeze frame periodically in order to hit him. I cannot afford to miss a single time or else I will have to fight him for real, so... Because it will cost us all of our energy for this. There you go. So yeah, now I don't have to be equipped with the power-up in order to replenish its energy anymore. I just have to pick up the energy container and it'll do the job. So we got the Windstorm. Probably the weakest ability in the game, but it's going to help us when we have to rematch Flame Man at the end of the game. So now we're at the second half. Time to take on Mr. X, and let me guess, Mr. X is Dr. Wily. That is the twist of this game. Like, shame on once, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, fool me 3 times, not having it. I mean, it would have been kind of cool if it turned out that Dr. Wily was working for Mr. X the entire time, but... that sort of trivializes Dr. Wily. That's a twist that would have made more sense if you defeat Dr. Wily here, and then, oh no, there's this other guy who's secretly evil. So I gotta use... oh shit. Come on. I try to think, what do we need? So if all else fails, just summon Beat. Oh, you have to grab the... so, there is an alternate path I want to use. It's way harder than the just going up, but it's going to be far more rewarding if we were to... hit the mark. And you know what? We have access to rewind, so I was going to hit that mark no matter what. Yeah, we're fully topped off, because all we really used was Beat once, and that's that. Now, we're gonna use we're gonna use the Power Man. And we get 4 extra lives as a reward for that. Yeah, I went down the ladder because I was trying to slide. Yeah, that's kind of dumb. Flame Blast is gonna be next. That's the one that we want to use. Trying to hit these platforms. Right. We were able to hit that guy. Pick up this guy. Just one more. And here's the thing, the sides are very well guarded, so hitting him is not gonna be easy. It happened, and I think you have to hit him from underneath is the trick, rather than above or the sides. So now we get a level 2 of Mr. X's castle. Practically a straight line. Finally. So, you might be wondering, how... Oh yeah, there's a secret passage down there. And we were able to completely top ourselves off. So I make sure I make A-bait jumps to avoid getting skewered. You're gonna need to use the jet. As a reminder, Megamna's fusing with Rush for the jet and power gloves. By the way, those are that is not solid ground below us. That is a pit that you will fall into and die if you don't jump over those. Very transparent. Just jumping over those pits. More branching paths. Do we go up or do we go to the right? Well, actually, I don't think it really... Actually, I think we missed our chance for the branching paths. That was just the exit point for one. So I'm using Silver Tomahawk for this boss. And to say this boss is hard is an understatement. It's just pure, unadulterated chaos. The worst part is I can't even get close to him. The Tomahawk is basically the only thing that can damage this boss with any degree of consistency, but at least it's a super long range weapon, so... And it deals quite a lot of damage to the boss as well. Yeah, can you imagine me editing this section out? Editing all the rewinds out of this playthrough? So... now he's no longer moving up. Wait, yes he is. Come on, I'm just trying to... And the reason why I keep rewinding, it's not just to dodge all the crap, it's trying to aim the tomahawk and hit the boss right there. So not quite as straight a path, but, you know, we go up. So... I'm ignoring that one up. I could use the power, but I don't want to deal with that shit. Oop, I went up the wrong ladder because I want to get the energy tank. Alright, how do we do this? I guess I could just do beat. Yeah, it took 2 hits and it nearly wiped us. And it nearly wiped out all our energy. So yeah, the game decided to go out its way to make beat to nerf beat in this game. I gotta step on the switches right here, and I just wanna... Oh, the dog's downstairs with me. You be good, okay? You be good now. Don't go taking my socks upstairs like last time. Okay, so the question is, how do I navigate this section? Oh, I decided to just take out each enemy one at a time. So as soon as one appears, so I will say this, these games have at least toned down on the whole let's nerf this guy. How am I supposed to do this? Right, it's... Just gotta take this guy out. And I'm kind of worried now because I haven't been able to top off at all. I mean, energy-wise, anyways. Alright. So I'm gonna have to use this power glove. It's kind of amazing to think that all this time I could have. Alright, I dodged all the enemies and all the... Unfortunately, I can't really use Solar Tomahawk or Beat, but maybe this will work. I think this is the weapon that I need to use anyways. So basically, I want to deal at least exact amount of damage to him each turn. Preferably a little more than that, but I don't think I can land all my hits. I just had need to deal a little bit more damage left, and I wasn't gonna waste all my blizzards on him. Now for the final level of Mr. X's castle. And again, because we got our upgrade from Proto Man, we don't actually have to be equipped with the weapon in order to top it off anymore. So that's nifty. Alright. So what we gotta do... Just quickly backpedal. Shit. You'll have to go down here. And there's something down here. Oh yeah, we wanna... And let's shut those lids off. That's what we are trying to do. And of course we want to go do the flame bat last whenever we have to deal with something on an awkward angle. Alright, now. Do we go left, right, or do we go up? Well, I'm gonna go right because it's the shorter way. There are some goodies up top, but they're just goodies. They're not really collectibles. None of these classic Mega Man games actually have optional or missable power-ups past the once you get to the castle levels, you don't have to worry about any upgrades or power-ups ever again. So I'm just taking the path of least resistance. Okay, so the consequence of what I'm about to do is that we won't be able to pick up that E tank anymore. So looks like I gotta use the flame blast. Barely made it out of that chamber alive. But I'm gonna keep the flame blast even though I've used it quite a bit because it's actually super effective against Mr. X. Okay, so it looks like every time we hit him, he will counterattack with that attack. But you can only really hit him once he gets close. Fortunately, it's super effective damage, so this shouldn't be too much of a problem. Our scheme for world domination has failed, but I still have enough power to destroy you. Whoa, what a twist! Mr. X was actually Dr. Wily the whole time. Let the final battle begin. And once again, it's Dr. Wily's castle again. I like that they keep misspelling the word failed. F-A-I-L-D. It should be when there should be an E at the end. Alright, I want to use Power Man, and... And these levels now get kind of crazy now. Just gotta take the hits. Kinda sucks that we still can't top any of our power-ups up. Using the jet so I can slow my descent for some of these parts. I'm trying to get that brick on the right side of the wall. Because there are some goodies behind that wall, and we need a top off bad. We want to go down here. And now we get to join the rest of the level. Might as well keep Jet on board in case I need to slow my descent. Yes. Only Beat and Silver Tomahawk. Oh yeah, and the Flame Blast still need to be topped off now, but there's nothing else that's totally depleted. And now... Alright, so... we want to do the spear. We have not used the wind attack at all this entire playthrough. That's kind of crazy. So he's weak to the Yamato spear. And man, just try to hit this thing while dodging his fireballs is horrendous. Alright, we took out this boss though, but only took about a third of our power, so Yata Seers are pretty optimal. So, level 2 of Dr. Wily's castle. Let's go pick up that energy tank, it's basically free. Ice physics. So, I'm just gonna... Yeah, we can melt that ice there. And take a shortcut. Alright. Oh, I want Jetman. So I can nab this power up, and this is where the rest of the level would have joined us. Unfortunately, there's no backtracking this time. See, you're literally, once you make 4 progress and you get the screen transition this game, you can't backpedal anymore. It's disappointing to say the least, but oh well. So, which power-up should we use? We want to use... Is it Blizzard Attack? Windstorm. Windstorm. We finally get to use this weapon! We never used it in Mr. X's castle. It took till the second level of Dr. Wily's to finally have a chance to use it. Basically, you want to use it on the mech's face. I don't even know the name of this mech. So I gotta keep on the Windman transformation here because... Just cause. So again, it doesn't cost a whole lot, but it does a lot of damage against the boss since it's strong against them. Now you get the funky water physics again. Those turbines can be pretty dangerous under the sea. Especially where all these spikes are concerned. Alright, fully topped off. And the fat ants can either suck you up or blow you back towards the spikes, so they can be really dangerous. Now, since I now know that I could use the jetpack and fire my weapon at the same time, I'm really good. So we're fully topped off, thank God. So we have to take on each of these rematches in a specific order. I want to use the Silver Tomahawk first, I think. Yep, against Yamato Man. So I'm not giving a whole lot of time to replenish your health because you get automatically booted out of there. So you're using Blizzard attack now against this Flower Man, I think, or Plant Man. It is a huge MP drain, so... Oh, that's 2 down, and so 6 more go. So which one is next? I think I'm gonna go with the Yamato Spear. Yep, because it's Nightman now. Very easy. I forgot what I just put in, but oh yeah, it's Nightman's shield, so for Centaur Man. And he is fast. So we put 2 hits in with the night cap, I guess. Now we use this one on Airman, which is Centaur, which is the Centaur Beam or Centaur Blast, which freezes time. So it still uses up all of our Centaur flashes, but well, I digress. I want to use Plant Barrier. And yeah, we are going through this. So we used all the plant barriers. Windstorm is next. Machines are taking on Flame Man. Are easy with especially with the windstorm. Last one is, of course, the best one, which is the Flame Blast. How do we get up there? And of course, yeah, this is the best one. Unfortunately, again, this is one of those bosses that has an invincibility window, so you kind of have to... So how we do for the penultimate level? Well, we just stick with the Flame Blast because the level's already over. Hey, we don't have to deal with the bullshit penultimate boss. It's now straight to Dr. Wily now. Hopefully we can top off in total. I'm gonna be putting the jet. Really? So, how are we gonna do this? Obviously, the way to cap off is to just fire at this thing. And I've decided to just give up any pretense of finishing up this grind. Okay, good. So, what do we do? Yeah, that ain't happening. This is gonna take way too long to grind up, so... Which power-up am I gonna use? I'm gonna use the, Gonna use the Yamato Spear for this first phase. Yeah, this is a multi-phase boss fight. So far it's everything seems pretty easy. But this is just phase 1, now it's phase 2, and this is when things get a little erratic. Is this the end? No, it's not. There's still one last fight against Dr. Wily. Alright, so this is going to be what I will be focusing on, is just firing the Yamato spears from an angle. Also, the fact that I don't have a full stock of Yamatos is kind of disappointing. I tried, but that last enemy producing machine just wasn't cooperating. Well, at least we had just enough to beat this guy. And we defeat Dr. Wily, who of course bows down and begs for mercy, but yeah. We ain't gonna kill you, but we ain't giving you a chance to get away this time. Triumph at last, Megamna arrested the notorious Dr. Wily and brought him to justice. Finally! Sentenced to prison for his crimes. Life in prison, perhaps? Dr. Wily now rules over a prison cell. At long last, the world is at peace. It is kind of fascinating, then. You would swear with this ending that Capcom may have originally planned to end the mainline. This was clearly meant to be the last Mega Man game on NES. They would have Mega Man 7 on Super Nintendo. I think Mega Man 8 was also a PlayStation game. And then Mega Man 9 onwards were digital exclusive titles for like WiiWare and stuff. But those games are all available on a second volume of this Mega Man Legacy Collection Volume 2. There's also Mega Man Legacy Collections on every single Mega Man series I could think of, including Legends, X, Legends, Battle Network, Star Force, you name it. If there's a whole sub-series of Mega Man games, it has its own Legacy Collection that's available on modern consoles. Unfortunately, PlayStation had to do something really stupid and corrupt, so I would not recommend the PS4, PS5 versions if you haven't already got them. But I can still recommend the Switch versions if you are looking. Mega Man 6, I'm still gonna stand by my claims. It's my fourth favorite. I think Mega Man 5 is just too dull. And Mega Man 1 is just kind of a straight up hit miss. My thing is that Mega Man 4 and Mega Man 6, I would rate as a 7 out of 10. I like 4 a little better, but Mega Man 6 is in a lot of ways a return of form, I guess. And probably the best way to send this series out on a high note, in my humble opinion. I do like that you get to see each of the robot masters in action during these end credits. You almost never see that at all. And you even get their stage themes to accompany it, so that's actually I actually like this. I do like that Capcom decided they weren't going to half-ass it this time. They were going to try to... They weren't just going to do the bare minimum and add a few gimmicks. they were going to try to go out on a high note. Because they knew this would be the last Mega Man game on NES. Mega Man X was already a thing on Super Nintendo. I think that game came out in '92. And we also got X2 on Super Nintendo, and the rest of the X series would come on the PlayStation, PlayStation 2. PlayStation games, generally speaking, are good. PS2 games, not so much. But that's the X series. So, with my reviews on all 6 Mega Man games, you know, Mega Man 2 is a masterpiece, Mega Man 3 is great too, but also way too hard for my taste. Mega Man 4 is actually the other way. Pretty good, but too easy. I don't know, I think 4 and 6 kind of shuffle between my number 3 and 4 spots in hindsight. That's just my opinion. But there's still the challenge mode that I have to do, and I'm gonna give you guys a taste on just how difficult challenge mode is in the Legacy Collection. It's really, really, really hard. Just to say, I'm not gonna be able to finish this perfect playthrough anytime soon, but I will give you a taste before I sign out for Summer of Sega. Until then, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. With that out of the way, this is Mike Gordon, sign out.